Of historical interest, in 1921, King George V proclaimed the official colors of Canada as red from St. George's Cross and white from the French royal emblem since King Charles VII. Up until around 1944, Canada's official flag was the Union Jack from British heritage, as Canada being a Commonwealth nation. Under the influence of Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King, who wanted Canada to have distinctive recognition of its role in World War II, he insisted that Canada have a unique flag of its own. Therefore, a temporary official Canadian flag, the Red Ensign, a Canadian military flag on ships and outposts, was initially adopted by the Armed Forces in 1944. It retained the Union Jack as part of its design. In 1965, after much intense and heated bureaucratic debate in Ottawa, the Red Ensign was replaced by the present Eastern Canadian flag. This new flag design was adopted from the emblem of the Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario. After 45 years of this flag, we should be due for an all-Canadian flag. Should our flag be revered as an icon and held in highest esteem by the people it represents? Consider the American national anthem. It's all about their national flag. Right now, I'd just like to say that I don't hold a grudge against the Americans for kicking my ancestors out of their country. They probably had good reason for their Declaration of Independence. Do Canadians do too much American bashing? Are we jealous of these people? Are the Americans better friends and neighbors than we give them credit for? I've done some traveling in the USA, and I've met some pretty darn nice Yankees. Sure, they're a pain in the butt when they are arrogant, and maybe some of them tend to think that the you-know-what doesn't stink, among other things. If we think we Canadians are so good and self-righteous, just consider this. The American people donate more dollars per capita to world charity than we do. There are a lot worse things you can be in this world than to be an arrogant American. Should a country's national flag command supreme allegiance by what it represents symbolically to a country? Are Canadians paying a blind allegiance to a flag that symbolically represents less than half of the country? Some of the national flags of the world, in my opinion, lack character and symbolic meaning. In both appearance and design, they do not seem to be worthy representations of their respective countries, thus giving an overall poor impression. Do these lifeless, bland flags reflect the general character of the people they represent? Change isn't always something that's easy to accept, even if it's something of betterment, and in the case of a nation's flag, a truer representation of the country as a whole. I think that Schopenhauer's dictum of truth could be applied here. All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. The famous Buddha of India once said, "Let truth be your light." Are we beginning to see the light yet? What is the truth of our national flag? I doubt that the federal government on its own would have much to do with changing the flag to a more appropriate one, because it has been said that the enemy of big government is truth itself. Symbolically, is it possible for a different national flag design than that of the present one to better reflect the truth of Canada's identity as a nation? It took quite a few years for the truth of William Lyon Mackenzie King's vision of a distinct Canadian flag to be appreciated and become a reality. You will soon be able to judge for yourselves whether this thought of truth about the flag is of substance. I have chosen to name this flag the Spirit of Canada. The name Canada is thought to be derived from Canada, a word in the language of the Huron Iroquois Indians that means village or community. With this thought in mind, it seems prudent that an updated design of Canada's flag be in order to reflect better the whole community of Canada. Bearing in mind that part of the flag's theme is unity, which is part of the words community and united, we might also meditate on the saying, united we stand, divided we fall, and ponder all the possible implications of this train of thought that could be embodied within this theme. The implementation of the philosophy, united we stand, ultimately culminates in the overall strength of the nation in different aspects. By understanding the meaning of this new flag design, it would hopefully make everyone in Canada feel, they are on the same team and part of the same community, as mentioned before. Whether or not the design of this flag is attractive or appealing to you is secondary. The most important part is its symbolic interpretation. You will see in the next part how it ties Canada together and puts us all on the same page as alluded to in the flag's theme.
O land of blue, unending skies, mountains strong and sparkling snow, a sense of freedom in the wind o'er the emerald fields below. To thee we brought our hopes, our dreams, for thee we stand together, our land of peace, where proudly flies the maple leaf forever. Long may it wave and grace our own blue skies and stormy weather. Within my heart, above my home, the maple leaf forever.
They say that a person's first impression of something or someone is often a fairly accurate appraisal of the real thing, but you can't always judge a book by its cover. Your first impression of this flag design may be positive, negative, or even indifferent. Let's see, with the help of a little imagination, if the story, or in other words, the interpretation, complements the book cover here. After this part, your initial impression may be changed or stayed the same. I will cut to the chase now and proceed to explain the interpretation of the flag's design.